So today I'm going to show you how to change the filter cartridges inside of a water filter, in particular a three-stage filter for my rainwater harvesting filtration system. So that's what my three-stage filter looks like. You can see each filter has a blue filter housing, and yes, so I'm going to show you how to take those off and change the filters. So the first thing you want to do is you want to actually turn the pump off. If you have a pump in your system, then you want to turn that guy off before you get started. Then you might have some sort of box like I do, where your evac is inside of. You want to find your evac. In my case, you'll see there's a green pipe, and it's got evac written on it there, and there'll be a valve on that pipe. In this case, it's a red valve, and you'll see the pressure. There's non-zero pressure on that evac, and when you open the valve, then the pressure will go down. It might not go all the way down to zero, but close, and that just releases the pressure, and any water that's in the pipe will get pushed back into the tank or tanks, depending on what you have. Then this is the part that was a bit tricky, which was actually opening the housings. They're very tight, very stubborn. I tried lubricant, all kinds of things, wouldn't work, various different tools. Eventually I got one of these oil filter wrench tools that I actually just bought it like a car shop. And it's a very cheap tool. You can also use a strap wrench tool. You can get these things on Amazon, and this thing absolutely works like a charm. It made such a difference, and it made getting these housings off so much easier. So you can see I've got, as I said before, it's a three-stage filter. This rightmost one is the 50 microns, the middle is the 100 microns, and then the left-hand side one is the carbon, because I have right to left flow. So it first goes through 50 microns, then 100 microns, and then the carbon. Now, I've already used this tool, this little strap tool, to open to loosen the 50 and the 100s, and I've already changed those. I'm going to show you how to use it to loosen the one for the carbons, this leftmost housing. So I've taken the strap, and I've sort of looped it over the bottom of the housing and slid it all the way up to where I have it now. And then what you want to do is take the little lever part over there, and you want to push it up against one of those protruding ridges that's on the housing itself. So you see you got these various ridges that stick out, these vertical like ridges, and you want to get that right up against there, that lever. Now, I haven't tightened the strap yet, and you can see if I try to actually use this tool and I pull it and I try to loosen this housing, it doesn't work. You first need to grab the strap by the loose end and pull it as tight as you can, and keep that lever nice and flat. Now with it tight, you push it, in my case, so that we try and do this thing clockwise, and there we go. It's loosened, and you just need to loosen it a little bit with the strap tool, and then you can slide it off the bottom, and you could do the rest of the work just by hand. You can see some water starting to come out there because it's now loose. I just turn it clockwise with my hand, and there we go, it's off. Then if you have a look inside, you'll see there's a filter cartridge in there. In this case, it's the carbon one. But if you're dealing with the 50 or the 100 micron as well, they just look a bit different. You see this one's very dirty because I've had it in there for a while. So I take it out. It's time for a change. They're the other two that I've already taken out. And there's a bunch of dirty water inside this housing. So I'm just going to go throw that out and rinse this thing out as well. And now that I've done that, I'm going to take the new filter that I bought, in this case, again, the carbon one. The process is the same for the 50 and the 100 micron. They just look different. I'm going to take this, I'm going to pop it into the filter housing. So again, these ones are already done. That's the 50 micron because of my right to left flow. 50 micron on the right, and then 100 micron is this one in the middle. And now I've got the carbon one. Okay, so that's what the carbon one looks like. There it is in my hand. That's a new one. And pop that into the filter housing. Okay, now if you look up underneath where the housings get attached to, see there where the water's dripping out, where I'm pointing that like circle, that needs to go inside of the opening on the filter cartridge. Now it's a bit difficult, it can be a bit difficult to line them up, but it's actually easier than you think if you just don't try to line them up and just clip it on there and turn it. You'll actually find that you get a lot of resistance if it's not properly lined up. So it's quite easy to do. You don't have to actually like get it lined up before you turn it on. So now I've turned it, And now I'm going to put the strap tool back on here to really tighten it properly. Now I've just put it on in reverse, so you can see the lever is pointing in the opposite direction as compared to previous. So now this time it's because I want to turn it counterclockwise to tighten this thing. So it's the exact same process, just the lever facing in the other direction when compared to opening it, just so we can turn it in the other direction. Give it a few good turns until it won't turn anymore. And then I'm quite happy that this is now good and tight. No more issues there. Okay, so that's nice and tight. And then I just slip the strap down over the bottom. And we're done with the strap tool. And our filter cartridges have been changed. So now we need to just go back to the evac. And you see the pressure is still low over there. It's very close to 0. And we're just going to close that valve on the evac now. And then we're ready to turn our pump back on and start using our new clean filter cartridges. So back to our pump we go, then back to your plug you go, turn it back on. You should hear your pump run for a little bit now. So actually pumps a bit of water into the pipes, and and then it'll stop again. And now I'm going to open up. I've got a tap open at the moment. And you can see there, when it's pumping, the pressure goes up. When it's done pumping, the pressure starts going down. And I'm just running water through one of the taps connected to this whole filtration system. So that's that. I hope it was useful. I hope you learned something. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.